because it points out that Margot Robbie and Tom Ackerley, her husband, are not fans of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Hi and welcome to Flaa Talk. I'm Kjersti Flaa, and on my channel I talk about my good and bad experiences in Hollywood and working as an entertainment reporter. Welcome back, Upper East Siders, where influence is manufactured, applause is transactional, and silence, oh, it's louder than a red carpet reveal. I just love this post on Reddit from Betty Buzz. It's from Blake Lively's snark thread, and I was just reading through it because someone sent it to me, thank you so much. And they're going through Blake Lively's influential 100 list and seeing actually who liked it. And it was quite shocking to see that none of her friends actually supported this, or they maybe just pretended they didn't see it. As we know, the reason why she received this I don't know what it is, this number on the list, was because she donated some money in 2019 to NAACP, and yeah, that's basically it. Who knows who paid for her to be on this list? It's obvious to me, and it should be obvious to everyone because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Anyways, this person looked into her Instagram post where Blake Lively was so grateful and said, you know, this was a dream come true for her, blah, blah, blah. And the person had checked who actually liked her post, and obviously who didn't like her post, which is much more interesting. So her co-star from It Ends With Us, Brendan Sklenar, no likes. It says here that he's too busy posting about being goofy and having actual fun with current co-star for drop. Jenny Slate, no like from Jenny Slate. She posted last night, this is a couple of days old though, no like, no comments, or cares whatsoever in regards to Blake. No like from Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds' best friend. He is maybe too busy to like Blake Lively's post. And Taylor Swift, no like from Taylor Swift. America Ferrara, no likes. As you remember, I spoke about America Ferrara last week, I think it was, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, and how she removed her initial post to support Blake Lively. She removed it from her Instagram grid, but it lasted for a couple of days, and then I talked about it, and I'm sure other people talked about it too, and then voila, it was back on her Instagram. So she was like, I support her, and then she's like, nah, I don't want people to see I support her, but then she got caught doing that, and so she supported her again. But now she's not liking this. Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, not even her husband, Ryan Reynolds, liked her post. And lastly, Gigi Hadid, who is one of Blake's besties as well. She has not liked her post. She has not reposted. She has not done anything to show support for this announcement. So this person found out who is actually cheering on Blake, and one of them is Chase Crawford, who, one of her co-stars from Gossip Girl back in the day, and Ed Westwick, funny enough. I think Ed Westwick, he's been accused of SA, I think it was at least 3 or 4 times, so that he's showing support to Blake is just a little ironic. And then it says here, Michelle Monroe, who was Blake Lively's co-star, who is Blake Lively's co-star in Another Simple Favor. And as this person saying here, that Blake probably helped him get cast in Housemaid, another movie that also Brendan Sklenar is in. And it's, guess who's directing it? Paul Feig, the director of Another Simple Favor and A Simple Favor. Yeah, so this post got 36 comments. So she has 36 friends still, and one of them is Lorraine Schwartz. She's been wearing her jewelry for decades, I think. I've always seen her wearing her super duper expensive jewelry, and Lorraine Schwartz says, well deserved, love you Blake, and so proud to be your friend. I wonder how much Lorraine Schwartz pays for this friendship, because I'm sure it's not free to dress up Blake Lively like that. I've seen her wearing $500,000 Lorraine Schwartz, and she was pushing it so hard during It Ends With Us as well, It was all about her jewelry and how much she loves it all the time. So I'm sure Lorraine Schwartz loves Blake Lively. There was another interesting story that someone sent me. I mean, I've been getting a lot of tips to watch this video where someone claims that Blake Lively stole Barbie from Margot Robbie. I don't know if there's any real evidence of that at all. There's stories out there saying she stole the movie from Angelina Jolie. There's one with Meryl Streep. There's one about Kate Blanchett. I think a lot of these women are not women that are letting themselves be pushed around. Like someone like Meryl Streep, no way she's letting anyone bully her. I'm sorry, I've met her a few times. She's not that kind of person at all, but you never know. Blake has a lot of powerful friends, and she, you know, she's not afraid to use her dragons. And so, I don't know, I just want to see more evidence. But then someone sent me this article from a year ago. It is in Life and Style magazine, and as I've said before, I don't trust their sources, but I thought it was interesting because it points out that Margot Robbie and Tom Ackerley, her husband, are not fans of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. It says here that an insider tells exclusively to Life and Style it's quickly turning into Hollywood's fiercest rivalry by far. It's becoming painfully clear that you can't be friends with Margot and Tom and also be friends with Ryan and Blake. And it's really forcing a lot of A-listers to pick sides. And here it says that Margot and husband Tom spun up their production company, Lucky Chap Entertainment, to huge success in recent years, even producing blockbusters hit Barbie, which starred the Aussie actress. Meanwhile, Ryan has been working hard using his own production company, Maximum Effort Production, to handle the promotion and ad work for his upcoming movie with Hugh Jackman. So this was last year, just before Deadpool Wolverine. And here the source says, these two couples are the most powerful people in the movie industry right now, and they all love working with other household names and big celebrities. Each side of the rivalry is stacking up an impressive list of allies as they meet head to head to see who will seize control of the movie biz. And it says here that to Margot's credit, she's a lot less picky about who she'll hang out with versus who she snubs, and has made a point of develop multiple projects with Olivia Wilde. Even though Olivia is kind of in movie jail at the moment after Don't Worry Darling. Remember all the controversies around that movie? It didn't look good for Olivia Wilde. I met Olivia Wilde one time only at a party, and I spoke to her for a long time. And I have to say, she was the most charismatic person, one of the really few really charismatic people that I've met in Hollywood. And one of those few people who actually ask you questions back. Magnus and I was at this, I think it was a premiere party for one of her movies. It was a project she had going on, I don't remember which one. But she was, she seemed like such a gem. But I don't know. I don't know if you guys have seen the Apple TV show, The Studio. She has a cameo there where she's playing a director that's impossible to work with. And she's just sabotaging everything herself and just being like, I mean, that TV show is actually really funny if you want to learn more about what really happens inside Hollywood. This TV show with Seth Rogen, he's I think the producer, and I think he wrote it as well. But it's really like an insider peek. Of course, it's really exaggerated, but it's a really good insider peek into what goes on movie sets, in studios, and all these big egos, and all these people who don't say anything and just keep lying all the time. It's really, it's spot on. So yes, The Studio, I recommend it. And here it says that what's underneath all the rivalry and posturing. Most people around Margot and Tom believe all of this comes from Margot beating out Blake for the female star lead in Wolf of Wall Street. And I think people have been speculating about that Blake Lively was meant for that part. I really loved Margot Robbie in that part. She's really catapulted into becoming this huge star. And I like Margot Robbie. Also, we have to mention how hard Blake Lively's team is working to make her feel relevant and to whitewash her image. Today I saw 2 articles. One in Marie Claire, which was the most ridiculous one. Look at this headline. Penn Badgley credits ex-girlfriend Blake Lively for saving him from pitfalls of fame. This article, it was published about 24 hours ago in the news section at Marie Claire. So this article is based on some quotes that Penn Badgley said about 15 years ago. He was interviewed then, and this journalist, Jenny Proudfoot, decided to create a news article about it today to credit Blake Lively for saving Penn Badgley. And it says here, Blake Lively and Penn Badgley are two of the most talked about people in the world. I don't know if Penn Badgley is the most talked about person in the world, but whatever. And particularly this week with Lively listed as one of Time's most influential people of 2025. I don't think that's exactly why people are talking about Blake Lively, that she's so influential, but whatever. And Badgley returning, and another reason that is Badgley returning for the 5th season of You. It's not a huge show, so it's not like everyone's talking about the 5th season of You. But I guess that makes this article relevant so that she could write about it and make it a news story. But it says here that even though people talk about them so much, it's their former relationship that makes the most headlines. Makes the most headlines? I don't think there's so many headlines about their previous relationship right now. But they dated from 2007 to 2010. That's 15, 18 years ago since they met. In fact, the in real life couple were together during the first 3 seasons of Gossip Girl. And here's a quote in the news from 15 years ago from Penn Badgley saying, "I never struggled with substance." Badgley has previously recalled in an interview with Variety. "Blake didn't drink, and I think our relationship in some way saved me from forcing myself to go down that road." He later continued, "Like anybody who experienced some degree of fame and wealth, I was presented with the universal truth that not only does it not make you feel better or easier, it actually can greatly complicate things and make you quite unhappy." Okay, that has nothing to do with Blake. The only thing he says there that she didn't drink, so that probably made him drink less. It says here that Lively and Badgley are reported to have remained on amicable terms since the 2010 split. I don't think they even follow each other on social media, so anyways. And while they aren't said to be in regular contact, Badgley has insisted that there is zero bad blood between the former couple. He said, "We haven't spoken in a while, you know," he said to Huffington Post in 2015. "There's an admissible silence, if that makes any sense." So they haven't spoken in, that was also a 10-year-old quote. Well, what made me laugh so much about this story is what it says at the end. "We will continue to update this story." So Marie Claire is going to update some of these quotes maybe that are 15 years old. It seems like her PR company made like a press release kind of and just sent some old quotes that they put together that Penn Badgley had said about her, so it made her seem like a nice person. It's so dumb. Then also this weekend, Vogue did a best dressed list. It says the best dressed stars of the week nailed spring simplicity. And then there's this video of Blake Lively, and they're showing Blake from London where she was wearing what they called a leather David Comac coat dress worn to the premiere of Another Simple Favor. The swishy car wash hem made the streamlined piece feel instantly red carpet worthy. And they call it spring simplicity. I feel there's nothing less of a spring look than a long leather coat that's black. I don't know. Yeah, what's spring about this look? I don't know. If you know, please tell me. Please let me know. It also says here that A-listers such as Anne Hathaway, Rihanna, and Blake Lively slipped into designs that were sophisticated and unfuzzy. Though the silhouettes were subdued, that didn't mean that they didn't shine. In fact, the end result was quite the opposite, proving that a refined frock can turn heads without having to scream from the rooftops. Were they referring to the rooftop scene here? Every time I hear rooftop, I just think about the rooftop scene because we talked so much about the rooftop scene. So Blake can definitely just wear this long black leather frock without screaming from any rooftops, and the people will notice. All right, guys, that's it for me today. That was a long rant, and I have a cold, so excuse my appearance. I feel like I look so clogged, and I am a little bit. But anyways, I hope you guys had a nice Easter, and thank you for being on my channel and watching my little show. I really appreciate all your support, and if you haven't subscribed, please do, and check if you've been unsubscribed, because that happens sometimes without people knowing it. So yes, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode. And please keep sending me tips. I love it. You guys are so sweet. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in my next episode. Bye.